So people, it's me, Libluini, and we're back with my Let's Play of Dominion 6. We are playing as German Holograms, goddess of TNN, Elf Nation. It's now the late fall in the year 1 of the Ascension Wars, and we have two battles, because I sent in troops blind, which is always a good idea in this game. But first, unexpected events. We got a large batch of gold, which is perfect. Maybe I do start thinking again about building a third fortress already. A local sect has flourished, which means Sloth +3 is bad for us. Dominion -2 is also bad. Province resource -5. Their leader preaches that labor is for the wicked. Sadly, it's not one of the kind of events where there's an actual leader I can root out, I think. Embracer. Oh wait, no. The first one was Morning, and the last one is a group of people have started to worship a false pretender. The leaders of the group were swiftly killed, but faith has decreased and unrest is rising. -2 and +11. Now we can deal with this. I think it's the variant of an event I've seen in Dominions 5, where you actually get an evil priest and a group of followers, and your Dominion will just keep on falling until you manage to root him out and then defeat him in battle. Which is easy if you get him, but it's still annoying because unrest Dominion will keep falling because he is basically a priest preaching against you. But anyway, the more important part, we had two attacks. One of Folia, where we managed to find a Caelum. Oh wow, yeah, that's the blind attacks. That's great. That's the problem with scouting, non-scouted provinces not even showing anything. Didn't even see a battle or anything. Well, we just kill them all because it's just a small party we completely unexpectedly steamrolled. Poor Log. The long-handed marches in and finds some random guys and kills them. Oh, how Irish. Embracer. And we win, naturally. Our Kappas indeed beat up the one knight and his 4 knight fellows, and they died in their droves, but only about a quarter of the troops were a third. Oh god, I'm so bad at math, sorry about this. So let's and then the knight attack, and then they get beaten to death by Kappas. Martial arts 1, heavily armored knights 0. It was an unexpectedly easy victory combined with an unexpectedly silly victory. Let's take a look. Whoops. Yeah, that was just in time because we're entering the realm of funny here. We got this one province, and now we have to either fight Riley for more or fight Caelum because just up there. And we have Arco here. So many different borders. Yeah. Kind of funny. We could easily attack there, and it's kind of impressive what a mess this map is. Now we have 1 neighbor, 2 neighbors, 3 neighbors in this small section of the map, and of course it's a bit silly to attack more than 1 enemy at the same time. Income 98. And that's even sillier. We can't even use this stupid province because the sea province has been taken by Riley, so there is 0 connection. It's sometimes funny how things work out here. It seems we do have to fight Mekone or Varnheim, because both are fairly dangerous. Problem is of course always getting backstabbed by 1 strong enemy while you attack the second one. Ah yes, this is kind of funny. They are here in this edge, wedged in. And of course, they just had to wait until their cold dominion made everything cold enough to just walk over the ice. We sailed here, and we sailed right into uh, their province here. An ancient ruin. We don't... Okay, we have nature mages, so we could get spiders here. The problem is, of course, the fuck do I do now here? It was the most easiest victory ever imaginable, but also the most useless, since we don't get any income from this province until we attack Riley, and I'm fairly certain our Kappas are not that awesome that they can just conquer the entire underwater realm all by themselves. And because of Arco sitting in the grey murks, we can't even do anything about the water here. We would only get access to more water provinces if we attack either Vanheim or Mekone. It's interesting. An interesting conundrum. Well, can we recruit anything here? Oh, resources are 22. That's we have recruitment points, and luckily the Triton Knights aren't that terrible, but they have tons and tons of recruitment points. So we can recruit one per turn. And while they are riders, their alicorns are certainly aquatic, so they can't go to land. Triton troopers. Average attack skill and poisonous. And they have shields, which is not that often seen underwater. Life underneath the waves corresponds in many ways to that on dry land. Both humans and animals have underwater counterparts. Tritons are the most common of the aquatic humanoids. They appear as humans with legs ending in fins. Triton troopers don coral armor and wield coral spears and knives and carry turtle shell shields. And they are aquatic, so they will be forever forced to stay on land. We have a Triton commander at least. We can command some knights for us if we want to. There's really not much to do here now, but as we thought, the Gibodais and the Mind Lord mind blasted them apart. Ah yes, underwater nations. It's funny, they are often despised in our community simply because they are hard to fight if you aren't an underwater nation. And a lot of people don't like playing them because if you're an underwater nation, you can only fight other underwater nations, or you have to get tricky to get your troops on land and survive. In this case, I hope they won't just attack us outright, because we are not really able to retaliate. We can throw them off the land of course, but we can't really throw them off the underwater. That's complicated here. Do I get some kind of history here? Summer, fall. Yeah, I think that's at least 4 full turns, so I can't really say, oops, I didn't see this coming. I mean, I didn't see this coming, but because scouting isn't magical here, and I just didn't saw anything here. That's good. That's good. And here are Wind Riders, and of course they already have a second fortress at least. Well, Mekone has carefully upgraded their defenses here. But we are too blind for my taste, so I have to move down there. This guy is still moving here. And our aggressive invasion meant that we get something more information here. So we did have a temple built here. And we have... yeah, it's not possible to recruit more than one. And one commander point. So we really don't need an additional fortress here. Let's build a lab. And Meron can do his thing, search magic sites. But of course this means this is an awkward problem. I guess I have to talk on Discord with the guy. I don't really want to get involved in a war where just one of my armies can actually cross over. It's more like a stupid raid. So let's get him back here. Oh yes, of course, this works. I mean, I think it does work. Yes. Yes, of course it works. Oh, I've completely forgotten. It's the provinces on this side I can't reach from TNN. That's the only reason why a fort here would make sense. Because shuffling troops between fortresses wouldn't look suspicious to my neighbors. Especially not since one of them is my cap. But anyway, now we have some interesting decisions to make. But I would like to keep this one at least. So let's be a bit risky. But I have to move the Kappas out and get them back here. Simply put, let's make 4. They're my only underwater strike force right now, while everything I could recruit in here would then immediately be immobilized. So let's keep it at defense 6. I won't recruit underwater horses for now, simply because I can get one exactly per turn. And I have no idea if I even want to attack underwater right now. I would have to forge some kind of reverse air breathing equipment to get them online, and I have no idea if that's even possible. At least I'll have soon a new army ready. Everything here is alright. Lab, temple, and soon a new fortress. How many turns still? Okay, and this guy can then immediately start building the next step upwards, and then I should possibly think about... ah yes, I can get only our recruits. I can't start. But... whoops, no, I didn't want to end my turn. I can do this and then get some... wow. That's not much. Well, one slightly better bow woman and one Pegasi rider. That's all we get. At least we can get a crystal priestess, some minimum upgrade to our research capabilities, since they get a chance at magic. Otherwise, another priestess isn't too bad. And up next, from next turn forward, I can get these women here in my employ. But I fear the time of endless scout recruiting has come to an end, because we need more mages. I have no idea how well we... I think I have to take a look at Mekone's troops before my next session. At least these then are free, because I'm not planning on building a third fortress. And right now, Vanheim is still busy doing some kind of war somewhere else. So I have no idea where exactly. It's in this big black void here, I suppose. But since we are now traveled far enough to the south and north to slowly match up the wraparound map, I guess it's time to storm Mekone. Too bad I've not really found out much about them beyond that they exist. But if I wait too long, they will also become a threat since they're a giant nation. And one thing you don't want to do is let a giant nation get enough resources up and running to have an army of giants. I get what I have to do now is I have to give up this stupid province since everything up here is filled, and I don't want to go to war with someone I have a hard time even seeing. Even if I come from the land direction, I would have to wait through either Vanheim or Mekone first. Well, I guess it's diplomacy now, and see what's going on there. Too bad Mekone advanced so far to the west already while I was struggling with my dumb magic horse riders. But since so many of my troops are stealthy, I can, I guess, put together one or two very obvious armies, or with our resources probably one very obvious army and one strike force that stays hidden, and if it gets discovered, hey, there are evil elves with magic powers, so they maybe even still win. Before I make my final decision, of course, I'll have to look up some troops, because we have already found out we can measure up against Vanheim's forces. Of course, they were smart enough to put a fortress here, and if we get down here, we not only have to contend with enemy raiders coming from the seas, but we'll also have to get stuck in that stupid fortress there. Well, as far as I can see right now, there's only Mekone here as a fortress, for now. So we could just grab a whole bunch of border provinces before the ugly moment of truth comes that every elf hates besieging an enemy fortress. Probably let Aigel sit here as some kind of reserve army commander and researcher and priest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus a commander. Should get. I should be able to get a 2-erg. Let's get some. Oh, I still have sacreds to recruit. The question is, okay, do we go down this route or we need more research. Yeah, we are hanging far behind here. There's no other way around. So let's switch focus to research. It's the problem if you have so many mages you can use offensively, like our Bao Banshee. You have limited amounts of money and recruitment space. Let's go researching. And then a sacred, and that's it. We are full. At least in our capital. From next turn onward I can then recruit stuff here, and then if I absolutely need more offensive mages, I suppose I can go down here. I am thinking I probably keep recruiting some research mages here, and these guys are then, as for the time being, some kind of reserve. At least with this one guy being back here, I then have one army leader left over and another army to send down south if needed be. I'll possibly, if I attack Mekone for real, do some reshuffling so that one army is just stealthy elves and another army is a bunch of raiders. Okay, I have to think a bit. Probably the problem is I have too many stealthy units, so I could do a lot of stealth, but of course, since I have only recruited some Firbolg slingers, they're the only units the enemy can see for without doing lots of scouting. Even then, I think that's how glamour works, right? It's what will do. Cannot be detected by enemies while moving in their own lands. Yeah, so the enemy only can see stuff like our Fearbolg champion here and our slingers moving around. Must be a bit awkward. So of course Riley can also see our kappas now. I'll put them back here for now, and if my invasion starts for real, I can then hopefully attempt to gain some more control of underwater provinces. This time out of the reach of Riley, because I would have to walk through two other unrelated nations to get there. As always with elves, we have not that many units, and they're not giants, so at least in numbers we're still superior to Mekone, until they do something silly like recruit tons of sheep slave units or something. I really have to look up Mekone in detail more. And well, there is not much I can do here, except sending a message to Caelum apologizing and hoping we get to keep this province at least. 50 more per turn is not that bad. And then we'll start preparations in earnest next turn, when I have a fortress to fall back to in case things go a bit less than optimal. And then we'll prepare for our first war. Ah yes, good old twin turns. And that's another turn for us, players of TNN, and we suddenly got a lot of messages. We finally did some more research, and some of our enemies have claimed magic thrones to get closer to victory. Simima, the Anointed of Ruax, is a mage of Abysia, fire and a lot of blood. Colossal Head Appreciator, the Rhino clan commander, has claimed the Throne of Life in the name of Colossal Head's body, the personification of strength. And Rhino clan commander sounds like Mahaka, the fantasy African nation. Then an unexpected event has occurred in TNN. A treasure! Ah, luck scales. I've no idea what I should do with the Thunder Whip, but I guess if it's good, nice enough, I can get it to the long-handed. I'm not even pretending I know it. So rivers have swollen, flooding parts of the land. Population minus 1,282, and terrain change. That is, if it ran this early, I would say that is a event. Not an event, I mean, but an attack. But apparently this can happen. The Throne of Life. Units have gotten younger. Good news. And we have finished our palisades. But Norborough, I feel like that province is just cursed now. First it revolts and now it gets drowned. It's now plains and river flooded. So it lost a bunch of income and population, but not that much. I guess it's not completely underwater now. And we can still recruit land units, a good sign. So it's not as extreme as the spell that you can use to just utterly destroy a coastal province. We see a bit more. Here is Vanheim up in the edge. So who is then the enemy Vanheim was fighting in chat and destroying? But it looks like Mekone is a better target anyway. And there is a small fortress already here. But there is not much here anyway. But this also means, another but coming, that we need to leave our scout here, otherwise we immediately forgot that there is a fortress here. Otherwise, the first stage of the invasion should be done fast, since all those provinces are just one block. Then it gets sillier. For one thing, we have this part here, which we know now, can just mean anything as long as there isn't a score telling us if this province is really independent or not. Also a bit silly, because despite the river, there are stretches of land, meaning we can just walk over there from 3 other provinces from this side, and the bridge. The bridge is a bit superfluous. It's not like this part here, where the river north of Amridon here completely blocks the way until it's frozen. That's why Comside is so important for Vanheim, because as you can see it's a choke point. You need to come from the north, not even from here. This is the only direct way, and this I suppose, and then this fortress blocks all these paths here. And because of the river, you have to go fairly deep below to even bypass the fortress. It's a nice strategical important point. This I am not so sure. I mean, it's better than just having a fortress right next to a possible enemy attack. And it does some blocking here. Of course, I suppose the fortress is supposed to protect more against both Vanheim and us. If it's just against Vanheim, it would possibly be better down here. If it's just against us, this would be perfect. Otherwise, well, it's not... I can't complain really. I'm just trying very hard to find something to complain. Good, water is still free, but more than terrain sea we do not know. And there are some more little lakes here. And we have, of course, no idea what's to the east of Mekone itself. Just that, yeah, that was a lot of expansion for them. I guess we have to strike fast and furious. These guys are, of course, another problem altogether. If I had enough information about troop levels, I could go Vanheim down here. Of course, with Mekone terrifyingly close to my capital, it's not really a smart decision to leave Mekone alone. At least Vanheim could deposit troops on our coast via their awkward feature. But this, of course, is something they absolutely would do if we were at war. So while this looks like they're the weaker nation for now, with their weird splotchy patches of provinces, obviously taken by sailing. Well, it looks like Mekone is the thing, yeah? How cute. Our little kappas are on the move. And you, Lapkas, you use the mountain of money we got to build a bigger fortress, and it's 600 gold, not 300. Oh yeah, I keep reverting back to the numbers of the old game. But on the other hand, I have wall integrity of 200 instead of the 50 a Palisades and Dominions 5 would give me. And since this is now administered by us, we can freely recruit stuff here. The thing is, I have to think. No, okay, you can join this army here. You can go here to do some more site searching. And yeah, I see already he didn't find anything. Messages? Yep, nothing. I guess we are terribly unlucky here. Oh, there was a second battle in Ompholia. Caelum immediately struck back. I guess since I wasn't playing for a while, they got plenty time to look at what I was doing there. And well, we could at least look at what the battle was doing here. Could have been funny if our weirdo was just hanging around. Those are just basic units, possibly even just mercenaries. Good defense, normal attack skill, protection okay, nice moral, and some are deceased at least. So they are plausible deniability troops, I would call them. Not bad. Some independent troops or mercenaries, not exactly what Caelum is about. So Caelum can just throw them away if they have some lying around. Is there a mercenary captain or something? Mercenaries have good armaments and some experience. Yep, it's a mercenary company. And then we have some real troops here, like the Ice Clads, who get magic power-ups from ice. This is not their final defense skill, in other words. Ice protection. Oh, wait. Protection. Ice protection magic ups their protection, which is at 17. Presumably looking at the snow, because it's a very cold province. They have shields or bow. Our slingers won't do too much to them. And of course they can fly. Our slingers can do a lot of dying when those flying troops suddenly arrive in the back row. Fighting nations with flyers is always a bit hard to do. This is a Fravashi, a magic flying dude Caelum can summon. They have automatical air shield, possibly because that's their bless. And of course they can fly. They're ethereal. I keep forgetting, is this normal or is this part of the bless? Attacks from non-magical weapons have 75% chance of being ineffective. So it's even better than the stuff we have. Just plain 75% of not doing anything even if you hit. Of course, problem is defense skill 13 is nice, but not too nice, and HP 28 is a lot, but not that lot. So if we get this guy alone, surrounded by our sacreds, they would just stab him to death. Somehow. R3 means, again, that everyone with a working mind will stop looking at this dude's beauty, and then the game will roll to see if they are allowed to attack them in the first place. And 3 is stronger than 1 at least. That could be some attempts that had foils. So this guy is a lot harder than it seems, even though he has not much magic powers. But there was also an Eagle King somewhere. Sir Guthrie, the captain. Yeah, that's the mercenary commander. Let's advance the time a bit. Ah yes, the Eagle King. One of the nice level 4 air mages you can get when you are Caelum in the early game. To give a bit of context, as the ages advance, magic grows weaker. So some nations in the early age can get up to level 4 in some paths just by recruiting. In the middle and late ages this gets progressively harder. In the middle ages the best you can hope for is path 3, an extremely rare level 4. In the late age you'll already be extremely lucky if some of your mages have 3 in a given path just by existing. Otherwise you have to get creative. You can empower them by spending a lot of the appropriate gems to make them more powerful, and there are of course boosters you can forge to get a boost to the path, but only in the early age will you see mages this strong just being there. So I have no idea what kind of spells he already has researched. Not that he needs any, but I have the odd feeling if I had just let my troop of insane elves sitting there, they would have actually won the battle. Yeah, the treasure here. So not much in terms of news. New fortress will be finished in 3 turns, and we have now need for mages here. And since I have no idea what to do with Mekone, of course assassination against giants seems a bit icky. You could possibly easily kill anything human-sized, but giants I'm not so sure. But on the other hand, time does not stop. So let's get one of those here. Yes, they all need 2 commander points anyway, so until we finally get the fortress built up a bit, we won't get any more. But we can recruit she warriors here. That's nice. And then I guess fill up the ranks of our slingers a bit. Oh, yes, of course. One slinger. Well, they are cheap, but they use recruitment points. Now we have a nice province that will get more and more resources, but not that much more recruitment points. Until the population goes up thanks to the growth working in this province here. Given us by us the internal side here, the White Man Hill. So hopefully this means that in the future I can recruit even more troops here. TNN. Now I can recruit some of the more expensive mages. And add more troops here. The Long-Handed is back. And he has a lot of magic paths. It's a bit annoying because he's the only one in fire and air I currently have. Of course, I'm now recruiting some down here, but it also means I would really like to do some more site searching. But right now we're also hanging behind on our research, something fierce here. This guy, for example, has to hang around until I can gift him something that allows him to swim. So I can look what Riley is doing in a bit more detail. At least Riley was nice enough to not just abuse the fact that I can't do anything really. But of course with a land province recruiting Kappas, could be that he's just thinking to himself, okay, do I want those crazy martial artists running rampant in my underwater domains? Do I need this annoyance? I mean, I'm in a similar position as I don't really have a lot to do with those things since I can't fight on land. I'm just recruiting them so I can hover up some nice little provinces down here. And it looks Arco is defeated. At least I can't see Arco anymore, because now it's a good. Wait, oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. This is clearly Arco, and they have arrived here. Luckily, they can't really mean to attack us because we are sitting here. Sure, they can move forward if things are frozen enough. Like, let's test this. Whoop, yes. They could march over the border right now. But of course they then better hopefully attack from the other side of the map too. Otherwise, in 1-2 turns their army would then be sitting here and not being able to do much. We'll also gain us some infirmity, because if we don't want to fall too far behind, we will have to attack someone soon. And if Arco attacks our friend Mekone here, well, that's certainly nice, but then we have the problem that the first things they will be doing is trying to cut us off from helping. And then all we have left is either attacking Varnheim instead, and that's a very small coastline we would then have. A bit vulnerable if you ask me. Or we'd finally have to attack through both of them and hope for the best. Well, Arco has mostly normal humans with some upgrades. So basically, they are after all ancient Greece with magic. So I could fight against them if I absolutely wanted to. Let's see our troop levels here. Yeah, the problem with the long-handed is that he is too good at everything. Just look at those moral bonuses. So, let's concentrate everything on him. Oh wow, yes, of course, that's stupid. I managed to accidentally put those two others into the wrong squad. Now, of course, the army orders are not lost. Let's just make sure everything is in order here. Nope, I meant to click here. Put them a bit into the back. And I need those guys a better all in the back row. No, my friend, you are also a level 3 priest, which is very nice. This means, oh, I never actually copied the script from my real priest, master priest, prophet, that was the word. Here it is. Okay, let me try remember. Okay, for spot 5 would be for this. Now can I now can I then I can modify it for our long-handed guy. Yeah, is there nothing better here? Group blur? Ha! Let's see if he can actually target the right group and not just accidentally target the good old sacreds. Where are you going? Okay, guy, if you need 2 provinces to get here, you could just fall down here. But I suppose it's 2 turns anyway, simply because he's on foot and has some troops on foot. So this means, of course, we have to do something now. Oops, wrong button. Ow. Ah, yes, we need the better fortress here. And in 2 turns our troops will be reinforced here. And in 3 turns we have a bigger fortress here. Let's see what our troop strength here is. See, we have 2 commanders. And then assorted normal horse guys, 5. Means one of our armies will have a nice fist, the other not so much. And this is of course a Ri, so the more expensive variant. Okay, then you can join the army down here instead, guy. Then we have 3 for each of our main armies. 2 leaders. And the male fist of the riding hand 5 plus 1 is 6. 3. 3 should be the absolute minimum of riding vehicles following the army. But of course it would be nice to have a bit reinforcements ready. And it's certainly everything I could attack with assassins is too far away. Let's do this instead. I should abuse the fact that no one can see my horse guys a bit more. So this guy will then do here some last minute side searching and then go here, and then one of them will stay behind doing researching and the other will get the next troop lord, and then it's more or less researching stuff up here until I need another army, at which point the I'm appointing army leader will go on southward, and we'll have to recruit another one for the next army and so on. Well, here Quadra sadly has to do everything now. Of course, you can go side searching, because otherwise I don't really need you right now. It's not exactly as if the and those units, I guess I can just keep piling up there. Sorcerers has some minimum leadership. Perfect. So I can use those to circle around if I must. Of course, what was that? Air 1 and Astral 1. So again, we rolled really well. We not only get the 50% chance, but also the 10% chance. Otherwise, you would have needed crystal sorcerers to get this. And we'll now switching to them. Every 2 turns we'll get one because they're slightly better, but also on the other hand, we get always the promised 2 paths. And our priestess will then walk around the lands, trying to find more air sites, completely autonomous now and only in our friendly lands. I would like to search for water, but I really need more research. Well, maybe if my war actually makes some progress and doesn't immediately fail. Ah, sorry. So anyway, not much to do on the left this turn here. We are upgrading our troops here. And in 2 turns from here, I will split those forces into 2 groups. One will be a bit more sneaky, and then assault over this route here, and the main army will then take Dragonscale Mountains and this besiege this fortress here. The secondary army then can try to walk around here, trying to roll up the defenders. And since this will happen in, see, 2 turns here, 3 turns, 4 turns. Yeah, since the invasion will begin in approximately 3 turns from now, this means my scout has some time to take a look what's on the other side of the river, so we won't get surprised by a huge monster army waiting for us. And not much that we can do here really, because they have elves too, so we have no idea what they are doing until they do attack. I guess I have to do some diplomacy now. Well, let's see how this is going. Anyway, that's it for this turn. Oh wait, do I have still some scouts hanging around? Yeah, this guy obviously. This guy, but he has to stay in position, and my cover. Of course, he does not need to stay exactly there, but since I want to set him underwater, it's also the best position to slip in on unnoticed. Could give him something more stealthy though, since he's just some random firbolg, not an elf. That's the funny shit. If it was just about stealth alone, I could send fucking everyone from my army But of course, sending an expensive mage on a suicide mission is a bit, let's say it's not cost effective. Anyway, that's it for this turn. Until next time, Nibluini out.